What is going on, everybody? Thanks for watching my video today. I was in a really good mood yesterday because the room I'm sitting in right now, the McKean lobby study room was restored to its former glory after it was unceremoniously flooded before spring break for the month before spring break. So I came back to Penn State and I was like, this is great. My recording studio is back. But then by the end of the day, I was crushed to learn that Tom Brady is already coming out of retirement after like a month, maybe a month and a week being retired. He has had enough time with his family. He is back with the Buccaneers. And I am absolutely shocked by this news because I just thought, yes, of course, with Tom Brady, his standing in the NFL, his obviously he's the greatest player of all time. He has he's gonna have plenty of speculation around his name no matter what he does. But I just thought, is it really likely that he's going to come out of retirement, especially that quick? Like, I thought the thing with Schefter, where Schefter reported it, but everyone was like, well, he actually hasn't announced it yet. That seemed like the initial confusion, but then Brady came out himself on his Instagram, on his Twitter, and announced his retirement and thanked all the people that he had played with. Bill Belichick came out and a congratulations kind of message to Tom Brady for his retirement. It seemed like it was true. It seemed like it was so true that I dropped Tom Brady from my dynasty fantasy football team, and he has since been picked up by my competitor JP McAnulty. That's a story for another day. But the actual NFL ramifications of this are absolutely wild because yes, he's staying in Tampa, so not much is going to change. But just the fact that teams had assumed he was done, it might have impacted the way a lot of teams were looking at this upcoming season. Like for a team such as my favorite team, the Packers, for instance, specifically Aaron Rodgers, is it possible that Aaron Rodgers, only agreed to re-sign with the Packers for this long-term deal because he assumed that Tampa was out of the way and that the NFC was just going to be a much easier road than the AFC? And I think it still is an easier road, but something like that, I can't get inside Aaron Rodgers' head, but maybe that was at least somewhat of a factor in his decision to stay in Green Bay over going to a Pittsburgh or a Denver. But so I guess maybe I have to thank Tom Brady for that, but nonetheless, Tom Brady returning is just very frustrating because it's not. I don't hate Tom Brady. I've never hated Tom Brady. I'm not the person that goes on social media and disses him all the time. I respect his greatness. He is the unquestioned GOAT of the NFL. He's won so many Super Bowls. He's been to even more than he's won, and he's already played at an elite level into his mid 40s. Something he's accomplished more than any other player has done. Season ago, he Rodgers had a slightly better stat line in my opinion, but they were almost virtually neck and neck. I mean, to have 50 close to 50 touchdowns at age 44 is just insane. But I thought he was retired for good. I thought Tampa was going to have to go out, maybe reunite with Jameis Winston or sign Marcus Mariota, something crazy, maybe even give Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert a shot. It's not going to happen. I thought that division was going to be very fun yet very atrocious. I was excited to see the NFC South, compete to kind of like how the NFC East was a few years back, just four mediocre teams vying to get in the playoffs. It's not to be. I think Tom Brady and the Bucks will walk away with that division. Um, I can't even be mad that he's gonna play because I actually coming into the last season I assumed he was gonna play another like 3 or 4 years. I didn't think retirement was on his mind at all. Clearly he's juggling something in his brain though. He's indecisive. I think it's fair to say he's indecisive considering he fake retired, not fake retired, but we had a false alert of his retirement. Then he actually retired, and then a month later he's out of retirement. There was rumors that he might force his way to the San Francisco 49ers, his favorite team, growing up, and he's from there. And maybe he would try to join up with the Niners and try to get them into the Super Bowl again after they made it a couple years back, but they missed out this previous season. So there was some people speculating that maybe his retirement is all just it's kind of like Brett Favre Brett Favre had to do with Aaron Rodgers back in 2007. He forced his way to the Jets after retiring and coming back out of retirement. But it seems like at least initially that Brady's plan is to play for the Buccaneers next year. And they already franchise tagged Chris Godwin. He'll be back. They could use some more help on offense. We'll see if they bring back Leonard Fournette. They need an Antonio Brown replacement. I know Evans and Godwin are pretty good together, but Godwin might miss some time because he is still coming off that ACL tear. I got Tyler Johnson on my dynasty team as well, so hopefully maybe he'll come through. but I think they could stand to do better. Maybe give someone like a Will Fuller a short term prove it deal. You get to play with Tom Brady. You get to prove it. This also throws a wrench in Rob Gronkowski's free agency because rumors were saying the Bills, the Bengals, some other AFC contenders were looking at Gronkowski. But with Brady coming back, he'll just re-sign with Tampa. The question is for how much money, and if he'll hurt their cap space at all. They have already lost both of their starting guards, two former Pro Bowlers. Alex Kappa just signed with the Cincinnati Bengals on a 4-year deal. I'm going to get into that in my free agency video that I'm very excited to do in just a couple minutes after this video. And his other guard, who's I think is even the better of the two guards, Ali Marpet, just retired the other day. So the Bucks have some holes on the offensive line they'll have to fill as well. They did re-sign center Ryan Jensen, who is also a Pro Bowl caliber offensive lineman. But overall, it's just a bizarre story. Like I'm not even that mad about it. It's just strange. I think it's just strange. And it's just been very weird to follow his career this previous year. Really, the past 2 years because him leaving the Patriots as it is was crazy. But then he wins a Super Bowl in Tampa with a team that kind of underwhelmed in the regular season, but come playoff time, he just got it done. And then last year, as the season was winding down, all of a sudden these retirement rumors propped up in late December. I was thinking retirement. This dude's like I said, he's in the MVP conversation. But as I just explained, we've seen what happened these past 2 months. So it'll be really interesting to see where Tom Brady's career goes from here. Will he retire after this season? Is this one last hurrah? He has nothing left to prove. He's won more rings than anybody. He's got his MVPs. He's like I said, almost practically everyone agrees he's the greatest of all time at this point. I guess he's just doing it for pure enjoyment. So we'll see how long that enjoyment lasts. But Tom Brady is back, and I think it's one of the most shocking stories we've seen in quite some time.